something's happening in the deep blue state of Oregon, something that hasn't happened in nearly 40 years, and it has the Democrat establishment in an absolute panic, as it should. Right now, as we speak, a Republican is leading in the polls for governor of Oregon, leading an incumbent Democrat whose popularity is plummeting by the hour. And the story of how we got here is going to absolutely blow your mind. Stick with me to the very end of this video, because the Oregon story is only half of the real story. The Democrat Party is publicly tearing itself apart, giving Republicans their biggest opportunity in decades. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, enjoying yet another glorious day in the Trumpian golden age that you made possible back in November 2024. So if you want a front row seat on how you continue to change the world in ways you never even imagined, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. For nearly 4 decades, since the great Ronald Reagan was still in his first term, the state of Oregon has elected only Democrats as governor, not a single Republican governor in 39 consecutive years. That's nearly 40 years of uninterrupted one-party rule. And many analysts are shocked to admit that this year, that all may change. A survey conducted by Public Opinion Strategies shows Republican nominee Christine Drazan leading incumbent Democrat Governor Tina Kotek 48-44. A Republican leading by 4 points in a state that hasn't voted Republican since Ronald Reagan. But the headline number is not even the most devastating part of that poll. Here's the approval rating that's making every Democrat operative in America lose sleep. Kotek's approval rating sits at a catastrophic 38%. That's the lowest of any governor in the nation. 57% disapproved. That's a sitting governor, 19 points underwater in her own deep blue state. And a staggering 59% say Oregon is on the wrong track. Now, here's where it gets truly extraordinary. When voters were asked whether Oregon needs change, 66% said yes. And listen who's in that 66%. 94% of Republicans for sure. That's expected. But also 66% of independents. And get this, 44% of Democrats themselves say Oregon needs a new direction. Among all voters who want change, Drazan leads Kotek 65-25. And the reason for that dissatisfaction is simple. Every single measurable outcome in Oregon has gotten worse under Tina Kotek. Every one. Oregon currently ranks dead last in the nation, 50th out of 50 in 4th grade educational testing. Dead last. Yeah, and yes, if you're asking, yes, it's lower than Mississippi. Mississippi, a thoroughly Republican state, Mississippi has actually been surging in elementary school testing over the last few years. It's really awesome. Amazing turnaround. Oregon now officially has the worst educated young children in the entire country. In a state that's been run entirely by progressive Democrats for 4 straight decades and has spent billions on education. Drug overdose deaths are at record highs. A homeless epidemic has turned Portland into a national symbol of failed governance. And job creation? You know, the very foundational requirement of any governor, job creation, right? Oregon ranks 47th nationally, in the bottom 3. And if that weren't bad enough, Governor Kotek's answer to all of this pain was proposing a brand new 6% gas tax on already taxed families. Gas in Portland already costs nearly $6 a gallon. That's not governance, gang. That's a hostage situation. You know what? Oregon voters have already started fighting back. When Democrats pushed their gas tax package through the legislature, Oregon voters took it to a referendum and they flat out overwhelmingly rejected it. In a deep blue state, they threw out their own legislature's tax package. Gang, that's not a vibe. That's a statewide recorded vote against the direction of one-party rule. Now, Does all of this mean that this race is locked up? Obviously not, right? The University of Virginia Center for Politics still rates Kotek the overall favorite, just given the fact that Oregon hasn't voted for a Republican in 40 years. She's got a fundraising edge. Oregon Democrats are going to nationalize the race around Trump. Orange man bad. Scary, scary. And the midterm year to boot. But there's a bigger picture to what's going on here because Oregon doesn't exist in a vacuum. At the exact same moment that a Republican is leading for governor of the bluest state in America, the Democrat Party is publicly fracturing in a way that veteran observers say they have never seen before. What's happening in Oregon is a sign of a political party in crisis. And that crisis isn't coming from the Republicans. It's coming from within. Gang, you have all got to go right now to TurleyTalksCrypto.com. I'll tell you why in a moment. What I'm about to share with you is the single most blatant Wall Street about face of our lifetimes. In 2017, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink called Bitcoin, I kid you not, quote, an index of money laundering. Bitcoin was money laundering. Today, BlackRock holds over 800,000 Bitcoin. We're $63 billion. That's more than the United States Treasury has, more than any nation on earth has. So here's the question every patriot needs to ask. The same Wall Street establishment that called Bitcoin a scam for 10 years, that mocked you for asking about it, is now its single largest buyer. Are you watching what they said, or are you looking at what they're doing? Gang, this is the great financial reversal of our lifetime. President Trump put Bitcoin in America's strategic reserve. BlackRock is buying it by the billion. The Bitcoin Act in Congress authorizes $1 million more for the Treasury. The only people not in the room, the everyday Americans, told it was too risky for their retirement. Well, that's what I want you to know about Block Trust IRA. They built the platform that lets you do inside your retirement account exactly what BlackRock and the U.S. Treasury are doing on their balance sheets. Institutional cold storage custody through SFOX and AI portfolio management through their amazing Animus AI system. I've been a client of Block Trust IRA for months now, and gang, I can tell you I love them. Right now, for Turley Talks listeners only, go to TurleyTalksCrypto.com. Get up to $2,500 in free crypto when you fund a qualifying account, plus a complimentary 30-minute call with their team where you'll get real answers and real solutions. Wall Street laughed at Bitcoin for a decade. Now they're buying it by the billions. Don't be the last one in. It's time to take control of your financial destiny. Go to TurleyTalksCrypto.com. It all started on June 23rd when 3 Democrat socialist candidates, all backed by New York City Marxist Mayor Zoran Mamdani, swept their congressional primaries in New York City. All 3 won, 3 for 3, and the establishment was horrified. But nobody was more horrified than Democrat strategist James Carville, the man who built Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential victory, the architect of modern Democrat politics. He went on his this podcast, Politics War Room, and he dropped an absolute bombshell.
Mr. Valiant, the New York Times reported, and I have the quote right here, I'll get to it. She is against passed off all her views. She has attacked interracial relationships in the American flag. Lady, I ain't in the same party as you. I'm sorry. I just not. And I actually do think it's time for Democrats to talk the S word, schism. I really do. Everybody's always said, no, we're coalition, we're big tent. And there's just some shit that I can't be in the same camp with. So I just cannot, maybe there's a way that you can say to, I guess Mandami is the leader of it, is, you insist that, try to insist that the people that run under your banner run as a Democratic Socialist and don't use the Democratic party as your guideline, and let's negotiate the terms of a schism here. Maybe we can part under some kind of advantageous terms for both of us. But I'm done. I'm not in that fucking political party. I am totally comfortable in a political party that spends time questioning the policies of the government of Israel. In fact, I'm enthusiastic about that. I don't want to be in a political party that denies the right of the state of Israel to exist. That's just not. I just can't do that. I'm sorry. It's just not doable.
Now that's huge. That's huge. That's Carville. Carville is expressing what multiple Democrats out there now say quite openly. They do not want to have anything to do with this new radical far-left cultural Marxist third worldist movement that's taking over the Democrat Party in so many of our cities today. The Guardian reported that the party's old guard, these sort of boomers like Carville, they're abandoning the blue no matter who banner and pushing for a more formal break with their progressive wing. Carville, by the way, has only doubled down on this. He's since escalated things even further. He's warned that the socialist victories may signal the end of the two-party system itself. He said he just can't see a future where two parties dominate American politics the way they have for the past century if these Democrat socialists continue to come to power, meaning that it's the Democrats who are about to split. It's the Democrats who are going to fracture. Now, if you've been with this channel for a while, and if not, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. But if you've been with this channel for a while, you would have predicted this. You would know exactly why this is happening, because you would know the effect that woke cultural Marxist movements and politicians have had on the Democrat Party already. Their radical communist politics actually splits the left in America. So if you ask a group of leftists if they support Mamdani or the Democratic Socialist Agenda or BLM or trans athletes in women's sports, take any woke issue, woke politician, woke movement, take any one, whatever. Ask the left, do you support this? Half of the left will say yes, absolutely, we're all in, right? But the other half, the Bill Maher half, the James Carville half, they're going to say, heck no. They're not going to say, I don't know, no. They're going to say, no, what? I don't want to have anything to do with that. But note, that's just half the overall equation. Because while this cultural Marxist wokeness is splitting the left, what's it doing to the right? It's uniting the right. And that, if you ask the same question on the right, do you support any of this? Everyone on the right, 100%, are completely against this nonsense. That's the political suicide that the socialist Democrats, the cultural Marxists, are playing out here. They're guaranteeing a political environment where more people will always come out and vote against them than vote for them. And so to bring this full circle with the Republican leading in Oregon, we have to ask, is the same thing happening in Oregon's gubernatorial contest? Right? Their Democrat Governor Kotek, she's a radical leftist. Do you remember how many Democrats wanted change? Do you remember the number? It was 44%. 44 of Oregonian Democrats want it, right? Are we seeing a split, a 50-50 split in the Democrat Party that's giving the Republicans a chance they haven't had in 40 years? 38% approval, 59% wrong track, 66% demanding change, 44% of Democrats demanding change. Something's going on here. Either way, the American Golden Age is being built brick by brick, vote by vote, state by state. And if Oregon can flip, if the state that hasn't elected a Republican governor since the 1980s can look at 39 years of progressive failure and choose something better, then nothing on this political map is safe for the Democrats. Not Washington, not Minnesota, not anywhere. The political revolution is real. It's growing. And gang, it's coming. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. And as always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button for breaking news and analysis you're not going to get anywhere else. Love you guys. God bless.